I'm not a prideful person. When I'm wrong, I will be the first one to admit that I am wrong. I was wrong about Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is about to make his debut. Zion Williamson, earlier in the offseason, I said, before I saw him play in preseason, I said that he was going to be a glue player, like a glue guy in the NBA, like a souped up role player, like a better version of Draymond Green. I was wrong. I must admit, Zion Williamson in the NBA, he's going to be a monster. What I saw in preseason, he averaged 23 points per game, shot 71% for the field. I know it's preseason, but his aggression and his dominance in the paint is similar to LeBron James and similar to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I feel like once he hits the ground running, may not be this season, even though if I was the New Orleans Pelicans, I would not allow Zion Williamson to come back. I think it's a little bit too risky, but hopefully he's going to come back. He's going to be healthy. But once he hits the ground running, maybe next year, his sophomore season, I can see Zion Williamson averaging at least probably 23 to 25 points per game on 60% from the field, especially with the about 12 rebounds, especially with how stats are kind of inflated now. And basically everything's a layup or a three-point shot. Who's stopping Zion Williamson when he gets to the rim? Like, same way they can't stop LeBron James, same way they can't stop a Russell Westbrook or Giannis when they're in full beast mode, running down the floor on a fast break transition. I don't see anybody be able to stop Zion Williamson. I think he's going to be a monster. Now, do I think that he's going to be an MVP? Possibly so. I'm changing my tune a lot. I know this is, like I said, I am not a prideful person. He can possibly be an MVP because he's going to be that dominant with the New Orleans Pelicans, and he's such a freak of nature. Now, do I feel like you can win a championship with him? Probably not, because I feel like if the less skill that you have, the more likely you're going to win a championship being the main focus or being the main number one scoring option or the go-to guy. I feel the same way about Giannis. I feel the same way about Zion Williamson. But I know that Zion's going to be a monster. He's going to be a star. He's going to be a superstar, maybe possibly MVP someday. Now, this is very different from what the tune I was singing this summer, but I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a monster. I think he's such a freak of nature. Now, I will say I don't see him ever playing a full 82-game schedule for his entire career. I just don't see that happening with his health and issues that we've seen so far. I just don't see it happening going forward in his career. That being said, though, he doesn't really need to play a full 82-game regular season, especially if the goal is to reach the playoffs and be a great playoff team, which hopefully the New Orleans Pelicans become sooner rather than later, especially with the load management in the NBA. It's becoming kind of a new thing thanks to Kawhi Leonard. So it's not going to really matter if he plays 82 games ever in the entire regular season, but I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be dynamic. I think he's going to be a freak of nature, and nobody's going to be able to stop him. He has the type of strength, like I said, once again, like a LeBron James and like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. Certain things you can't teach and certain things that you just can't, they're too physically dominant to stop. So I think he's going to be a stud, and I'm all in now on the hype on Zion Williamson, even though I still say I would have took Ja Morant as the number one overall pick. Because even though I still feel and still think that Ja Morant is going to be a better basketball player than Zion Williamson when it's all said and done, but I am in on Zion Williamson. I think he's going to be a stud in the NBA. I think he's going to be a freak of nature. And what I saw in the preseason is all I needed to see for me to change my tune and basically change everything I said about Zion Williamson in the past. Like, once again, when I am wrong, I will say I am wrong. And I was wrong about Zion Williamson. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a monster.